Good morning, wet shavers, coffee lovers, and podcast listeners everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put in those earbuds, adjust that speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a few other things in podcast form. What is Second Cup? Well, Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday morning mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale that could be ending before the next 3 MB hits the airwaves, or a piece of late breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time sensitive, or something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit chat and discuss some other things like coffee, movies, streaming shows, books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup, and I hope you subscribe to the podcast, where you can also find episodes of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the March 2nd, 2026 episode of Second Cup. Great to be with ya. It's the start of March. I always like it when March rolls around because that tells us that the worst of winter is in the rearview mirror. We have spring to look forward to, and the lion's share of winter has already passed us. That's the way I like to look at it. And the weather did warm up this past weekend. Saturday was like 47 degrees where I'm at. It was a little warmer on Friday. It was like 55 degrees, and now we've got a little bit of a cold spell, but the worst of the winter weather hopefully is behind us. That's why I always like to see March roll around, and I'm so happy because the more that March progresses and the deeper we get into March, the more that warm weather rolls around. Although I will say this though, my late brother Jay was born April, was it 18th or 19th? I think it was the 18th, April 18th. And whenever his birthday rolls around, we always have a little bit of snow, probably a day or two before or a day or two after. And it always happens. Sometimes we'll get enough snow that it will stick to the ground a little bit. Other times we'll get a little bit of snow just in the air. But we always get snow right around my brother's birthday. And that's how I remember my brother's birthday. When I start seeing snow in the middle of April, I think to myself, what day is this? Is it Jay's birthday already? That's kind of how I remember my brother's birthday. And I believe it's April 18th or 19th, but it's right around there that we have snow. So mark your calendar. If you're in my neck of the woods, mark your calendar right around April 19th. I would say 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, right in there. That you'll find that you might have a little bit of snow on the ground or a little bit of snow in the air. And if that happens to you in your neck of the woods, drop me an email at mondaymailbag@gmail.com and let me know. Yeah, Jay was born April 18th, now that I think about it. Yeah, not the 19th, the 18th. My brother Jim was born June 19th. I always get those two kind of reversed. One was the 18th in April. The other one was the 19th of June. Or maybe it's reversed. I can't remember. All right. I sometimes forget my own birthday. So great to be with you this morning. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee. We are enjoying good old basic Dunkin' Donuts once again. And I've got right here. Can you hear that? Got the Dunkin' Donuts coffee mug that came courtesy of viewer Doug Thompson. Doug, thank you again very, very much. Hang on. Let me get another sip here. Yeah, that is marvelous. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee wherever you're at, and I hope the weather is really agreeable. I hope it's warming up. Again, as I say, we have spring to look forward to. I think baseball training camp has already started. I think pitchers and catchers have already reported to a spring training camp. So we've got some of those spring training games to look forward to as they start ramping up for the baseball season. And we have another update regarding the giveaways. Our winner of the St. Valentine's Day Love Your Shave giveaway, Scott Martin, it was Scott Martin, claimed his prize. I got an email from him claiming his prize, and this was after I completed the Monday morning mailbag for publication. And he said, "Hey, I won," and he sent along his shipping address. We have everything packed up and ready to go, and we'll be handing that to the mail carrier today, Monday. Well, I'm recording this before Monday, but on Monday, March 2nd, is when we will be handing that to the postal carrier, and Scott will receive that hopefully by the end of the week. And I have to tell you something about putting together the giveaway prizes and shipping them. I am using the United States Postal Service's Click and Ship service. I created an account up there, and that has been absolutely wonderful. I just cannot tell you how easy it is now to ship out these giveaway prizes worldwide. It has been so easy to do. So if you are looking for a really good, affordable, efficient, and easy way to ship a package, you've got to get an account on United States Postal Service's Click and Ship. My postal carrier at work, the postal carrier who comes and drops off the mail, she was telling me all about it. And I thought, wow, I'm going to try that. And she said, "Hey, Mark, all you have to do is once you print out your label and affix it to your package, when I drop off your mail, all you have to do is hand me the package. I've got this scanner here, and I just scan the barcode, I throw it in my mail truck, and it's on its way." And that's the way I've been doing it. And it has been absolutely amazing. So I have a brand new inkjet printer. I bought that I think right before the holidays. I think that's been fantastic. And I bought a postal scale, a little electronic postal scale. I got that from Walmart Plus, and I think that was like maybe $20, something like that. And it's very, very accurate. So once I find out who the winner is, where their shipping address is, regardless of where it is, anywhere in the world, I pack everything up, I seal the box, and put it on the scale, get the weight, get the dimensions of the package, go up to Click and Ship, let it know whether it's international or domestic, and then fill out the information, and it creates the label. Then I select the service that I want. Do I want 3-day, 4-day, 2-day, whatever it is, whatever their options are for that particular delivery address. Click it, put in my credit card information, click, boom, done. The label prints out. Affix it to the package, hand it to my postal carrier, it's on its way. It is really, really amazing. So if you've got a little cottage industry that you're building, a little cottage business, something that you're running out of your little home office, something like that, and you're looking for an efficient way to ship packages, Click and Ship with the United States Postal Service really is a terrific, terrific system to ship packages. It has saved me a lot of time, and the rates are very, very good. So check it out. And the service has been spectacular. I mean, they give you a tracking number. You can get insurance. Sometimes insurance and tracking number, well, for the most part, insurance and tracking numbers are free of charge. It's included in the package. Of course, I haven't been shipping anything really, really large. My packages have been like maybe 12 by 5 by 8, something like that, for these giveaways, in that ballpark. But they give you different rates based on the size of the package, the weight of the package, and it really is very, very good pricing, and the service has been great. And when you get the tracking number, I just send it to the recipient, and they're able to track their package from my front door to their front door. It really is a terrific, terrific system. So again, United States Postal Service, Click and Ship, if you're looking for a great way to ship packages. And again, just get up to USPS.com, I believe it is, or just type in United States Postal Service. It'll come right up. Create an account up there, put in all your information, your home address and everything like that. And whenever you go up there, it'll bring up your account, your shipping from address, and then all you got to do is put in your recipient and put in the weight and the size of the package and choose your service, how much you want to pay, and boom, it's on its way. Prints out the label, and really terrific. But I would recommend you get a good printer and you get a good postage scale. That's what I would recommend, and everything just falls right into place. It's been great. So congratulations again to Scott Martin for winning. Your package will be handed to the postal carrier today, day of broadcast, and you should get it by week's end. So yeah, really, really happy to hear about that. So great to be with you today. I hope the weather's agreeable where you're at. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. Hey, let's pay a few bills and we'll get the show underway in just a moment. Well, Grace Chen and the folks at Yonke sent along a couple of brand new razor heads, 316 stainless steel, and we're just getting information about them. We're going to show these on the Monday morning mailbag, but I thought I'd introduce them to you this morning on Second Cup. You can hear me. I'm taking out a little box right here, and they're wrapped up like that. Can you hear that? Wrapped up in tissue paper. These are 316 stainless steel razor heads, rather. And boy, these are really, really nice. They have a matte finish to them. And we've got a couple of them here. What we have here that I've already attached to a RazoRock Bulldog stainless steel handle. I don't know. Can you hear that? That's the that's the razor head on top of the handle there. What we have here is the SRH-059, which is similar to a Henson Plus Plus. Now that's what I have attached to the RazoRock stainless steel Bulldog handle. This is the handle that was attached to the Game Changer razor head, and then the UFO handle came into the shave den, and I'm now using the UFO handle with the Game Changer razor head. So that freed up this Bulldog handle, which I'm using with this SRH-059 razor head from Yonke, which is similar to the Henson Plus Plus. And the reason why I'm using the Bulldog handle is because it's approximately the same length as a Henson razor handle. So I'm going to be shaving with this after this broadcast, and we're going to see how this one compares to a Henson shave. I don't have a Henson Plus Plus, but I've made sure to have about a good 2.5, 3 days worth of beard growth to see how efficient and aggressive and close of a shave this particular razor head from Yonke shaves. And again, it's similar to the Henson Plus Plus. It has the same kind of profile, nice long open lather channels on it, a T shape to it. And it's 316 stainless steel. So when we get more information regarding price and where it's listed and that sort of thing, we'll share that with you because these are launching in March. Now, I'm recording this on the first day of March. It will be broadcast on the second day of March, and I don't see any information up there just yet. So it's night. I'm recording this in the morning, so it's nighttime where they're at. So I expect that at the beginning of their work week, that information will probably be toggled on, and it'll be available. And we'll talk about that on an upcoming Monday morning mailbag. So that's the first razor head, 316 stainless steel SRH-059 razor head, which is similar to the Henson Plus Plus. I got it on the Bulldog handle. We're going to shave with this after we do this broadcast, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it shaves and how aggressive it is and how efficient it is, that sort of thing, which is why I've given myself a little more beard growth here so that I can see how it takes down a lot of whisker. And, there have been some Yonke razors that I've used that have a 0.90 millimeter blade gap, a 1.0 millimeter blade gap, and they have been really, really smooth and mild and not at all highly aggressive. And I'm thinking that the blade exposure might be neutral or a little bit negative. However that works, to be honest with you, I'm not quite understanding blade exposure, and I know a lot of folks out there who are more in the know understand that. And if you do, please email me at mondaymailbag@gmail.com and break it down for me, please, and we'll share that with all the viewers out there. The point is that blade gap doesn't always dictate the aggressiveness of the razor as I understand it. The blade exposure also comes into play. So that's why I'm saying the blade exposure might make that blade gap a little milder when you shave with it. That's my understanding. But again, we're going to see how this razor head, the Henson Plus Plus similar razor head that Yaqi has, the Yaqi SRH059 razor head, which is similar to the Henson Plus Plus. We're going to shave with that and see how that feels. The other razor head that they have here is the SRH060. And they're saying that this is similar to the Swiss Razor BR1. Now, I never heard of the BR1. I had to do a search on it. Maybe you know about the BR1. And this is the Blutt Razor BR1. BLUTT. This is a Swiss-made razor. And as they write on their product page, the Blutt Razor BR1 safety razor is made out of 1.4404 316L stainless steel in Switzerland. Unlike common die-cast razors, it is CNC milled. This solid material manufacturing allows for tighter tolerances as well as an improved blade fit. Due to its flat head shape, the BR1 is very maneuverable and also allows for easy upper lip shaving. The concealed blade tabs ensure a safe shave. The BR1 is available with different base plates. These differ in blade gap and blade exposure to customize the shaving experience. Now, again, the one that I'm holding here is based on the BR1, and they're telling me that the blade gap for the Yaqi SRH060, which is similar to the BR1, the blade gap is 1.15 millimeters. Wow, that could really pack a punch. Then again, blade exposure might override that. It might be a really nice, mild yet efficient shave. Not entirely sure. Again, this one is 316 stainless steel. It is a matte finish. It looks gorgeous, and we're going to be shaving with this one as well. And we'll show both of these to you on the Monday morning mailbag, an upcoming Monday morning mailbag, so that you can get a first-hand look at them. And by then, we'll have a little more information regarding their availability and that sort of thing. But they're launching in March. I'm not entirely sure which day that is, if it's going to be March 2nd or March 5th or when it's going to be. But we'll get with Grace Chen and the folks at Yaqi and get all that information so that we can share it with you, and you'll have another razor head to investigate for your shave den. And I'm just looking at this SRH059, which is similar to the Henson Plus Plus, as it sits on this Bulldog stainless steel razor handle from Italian Barber Razor Rock, and it looks really, really great. I mean, it has a matte finish, and the handle has more of a polished finish, but it's still a neat kind of a contrast, and it looks really, really nice. Now, obviously, a handle with a matte finish would look a little nicer and match up with it, but I'm saying that the contrast between matte and gloss, so to speak, the shine of the razor handle, kind of nice, kind of neat. And we're going to be doing a review on this. I'm going to be shaving with it, doing a review on it, and getting that posted sometime down the road so you can see exactly what it looks like. And we'll show these on the Monday morning mailbag so you can see these as well. And again, they're launching in March. I'm assuming beginning of March, and we'll get more specs on them so you can learn a little bit more about them. So just know the Yaqi SRH059 and the Yaqi SRH060. Get up to AliExpress or your favorite internet search engine and just punch in those numbers, and the razor heads should come up when they are launched. So again, we'll share more information with you as it comes down the pike. So my thanks again to Grace Chen and everyone at Yaki for very kindly and generously sending along the SRH-059 and the SRH-060 Razorheads. The first one similar to the Henson Plus Plus, and that second one similar to the Blute BR1. Thanks again very, very much. Stay tuned. We'll have more information on them. Well, as we mentioned, Yaki has that stainless steel Razorhead, 316 stainless steel Razorhead, the SRH-059, which is similar to the Henson Plus Plus. And we received this from David Dart, speaking of Henson razors. And he writes, Mark, good afternoon. Here in Canada, we have a hardware store chain called Home Hardware. I was in my local store when I noticed that they are carrying Henson AL razors. I've heard guys referring to their shave of the day and calling the razor hardware, but this adds a whole new meaning. Laugh out loud. I thought it was interesting and that you may wish to share this with your Canadian followers. Have a great day. And that comes from David Dart. David, very, very happy to share that with everyone up in Canada and all the listeners out there. Yeah, that is kind of interesting that you walk into a hardware store and you're expecting to see nuts and bolts and wrenches and tools, and you see Henson razors. Now, it's great that you can pick up a Henson razor in a hardware store, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the history of the hardware store is that you could go into any hardware store back in the day, and I'm talking years and years, decades ago, and you could get anything. You could get a pair of jeans, you could get a hammer, you could get a pair of tweezers, you could get a cast iron skillet. You can get just about anything under the sun because a hardware store was pretty much like a general store. Correct me if I'm wrong. I seem to think that that's what they were, because they were centrally located in small towns, and that was kind of like for lack of a better term, the shopping mall for all the residents. They would go into the local hardware store. And of course, they had catalog sales as well. So if they didn't have it in the store, they had a catalog of some kind that you could go in and look at what you need and go, oh yeah, right here, I need that item there. And they would order it for you. And then, a few weeks later, it would come into the hardware store and you'd get a heads up from them, however they did it back in the day, maybe a phone call, or maybe the hardware store owner would tell his son, "Hey, run out to the Smiths and tell them that their cast iron skillet came in." Something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just kind of assuming here based on vintage movies, old time movies that I've seen back in the day. But I think that's what the hardware store was. So, as you said in your follow-up, David, everything old is new again. So maybe everything's going full circle, and hardware stores are starting to bring in other items rather than just tools and nails and bolts and hammers and that sort of thing. They're going to bring in razors because, hey, we're guys. When we go in to buy a tool, we like to have a shave. Oh, look at that. There's a razor there. And what a great way to introduce someone to the traditional wet shave, and also a great razor, because the Henson really is a terrific, terrific razor. If you haven't used one, I highly recommend them. I have a couple of the original Hensons, and I also have one of the revamped, the redesigned razors that very, very kindly and generously came from viewer Beth Jones. Beth, thank you again very, very much. They're all great. And again, if you want something with a little more growl, from what I understand, the Henson Plus Plus will give you just that. And I don't have a Henson Plus Plus, so I don't know how this Yaki SRH-059 is going to compare to a Henson Plus Plus, but I'll know how it compares to just the regular Henson that I have. So we'll see. We'll see what shapes up there. But thanks again, David, for the heads up. on the home hardware store chain in Canada, now selling Henson AL razors. If you need a razor and you're in Canada, next time you go into a home hardware store, look for the Henson razor. It'll be right there, probably next to the hammers. Thanks again, David. Really do appreciate it. Well, since it's the beginning of March, not only is spring right around the corner, but before you know it, it'll be March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. And that means break out some of those great St. Patrick's Day seasonal shave soap scents that you may have in your shave den, or maybe you want to add one for the upcoming St. Patrick's Day holiday. Well, Phoenix Shaving's got you covered. Right now, available through March, Irish Coffee. Boy, this is a good one. We've reviewed this one. It is terrific. And as they write here, Happy St. Patty's Day 2026. And here's the scent profile: coffee, cream liquor, vanilla, benzoin, a dash of butterscotch, and Irish whiskey. A toast to tradition, a shave to savor. There are few things in this world as soul-warming as a properly made Irish coffee. A perfect alchemy of bold coffee, rich cream liqueur, velvety vanilla, and the smooth embrace of Irish whiskey. It's a drink born from ingenuity, meant to comfort weary travelers and delight the senses in a way that only the Irish can. And now, that timeless indulgence returns to your shave den. Backed by overwhelming demand and originally launched in 2014, Phoenix Shaving's Irish Coffee is the St. Patty's Day scent you didn't know you needed, but once you experience it, you'll wonder how you ever went without. This isn't just a fragrance, it's a perfectly poured mug of nostalgia, decadence, and pure shaving bliss. For real. The legend of Irish coffee. Let's take a step back in time. Picture this. It's a blustery evening in 1942 at Foynes Air Base, Ireland's gateway to the skies. A group of tired passengers step off a long, cold flight, desperate for warmth. Seeing their shivers, Chef Joe Sheridan does something brilliant. He fortifies their coffee with Irish whiskey, adds a touch of sugar, and crowns it with fresh cream. One traveler, taken aback by the unexpected luxury, asks, "Is this Brazilian coffee?" Sheridan grins and replies, "No, it's Irish coffee," and thus a legend was born. A drink designed for comfort, celebration, and Irish wit, one that we at Phoenix Shaving proudly translate into the realm of traditional wet shaving. The scent that pours a perfect shave. Imagine the steaming aroma of freshly brewed coffee, swirling with the creamy sweetness of Bailey's, infused with a dash of butterscotch, kissed by smooth Irish whiskey, and rounded off with a comforting touch of vanilla and benzoin. It's a morning ritual in a mug, transformed into the most indulgent shaving experience possible. This scent lingers like a fireside chat in an old Irish pub, wrapping you in warmth, sophistication, and just the right amount of rabble-rousing. Available in everything you need to smell amazing, including Cube. Have I mentioned that? So raise your mug, lather and all, and toast to a most festive shave and the coming spring. Oh, how far away it still feels, eh? Shlante and happy St. Patty's. And that's from Douglas Fran, Hux, and Cube. And as he says here, the shortest Phoenix Shaving newsletter ever. Yeah, well, I guess it is on the shorter side, but it really is jam-packed with a lot of great information regarding Irish coffee from Phoenix Shaving. Get up to phoenixshaving.com or phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com. Both of those addresses will get you to the Phoenix Shaving website where you can check out Irish coffee from Phoenix Shaving. Give it a look for your St. Patrick's Day festivities and celebrations. Now, before I get out of here, I'm going to recommend a book to you. I'm holding it right here, and this happened to come up in a conversation I had a few days ago, and I was reminded of this book during that conversation, and it's called Killing Patton by Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard. The Strange Death of World War II's Most Audacious General. That's the full title. Killing Patton, The Strange Death of World War II's Most Audacious General. This read like a movie. This was really a terrific, well-written book. And you learn so much about World War II, troop movements, strategies. You learn a lot more about General Patton and just a lot of inside baseball information, too, regarding what was going on at headquarters with Eisenhower and the other generals, and how Patton made some really bold moves during World War II that helped win World War II. And there is also a scene in this book. I won't spoil it to you, but there's a scene in this book that runs parallel to the movie and book, The Monuments Men. Now, if you've ever seen The Monuments Men, you know what that movie and book are all about these group of Americans who go in to make sure that all these valuable paintings and other artworks are preserved and returned to their original owners because the Nazis are stealing them and that sort of thing. And there is a scene in Killing Patton that kind of runs parallel to some things going on in The Monuments Men. At least that's the way I saw it. But a really terrific read. Killing Patton, The Strange Death of World War II's Most Audacious General by Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard. They have a great series of books, these killing books that are out. I also read this one here too. This is called Killing Lincoln, The Shocking Assassination That Changed America Forever. This was another terrific book. And again, both of these books read like movies. As a matter of fact, in Killing Lincoln, I don't know if I've talked about it before, there's this great scene where the Civil War is being settled and how General Lee is meeting General Grant. And that whole setup and how it's staged and how the men sit down and talk to one another. Really brilliant scene, and how it's written and how it's brought to life in this book, Killing Lincoln. Again, reads like a movie. You also get this great enjoyable history lesson. In other words, you're learning history and you're enjoying the trip, the actual reading of the book as you learn about all these events and all these great men. So give them both a look. Killing Patton by Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard, and Killing Lincoln by Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard. Really terrific books. I'm going to get a few more in the series, the Killing series that they have out there. So check them out. And as I explore more of those titles, I'm sure I'll be talking about them again on upcoming Second Cups. One more time from Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard, Killing Patton, and also check out Killing Lincoln. Give them a read. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to a fellow wet shaver or friend. My thanks to everyone who commented and contributed to today's show. And I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and we'll try to get it all sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that Second Cup.